welcome to today's video where I will be covering the 5 teams that did not move on at MSI 2022 from Group Stage to the Rumble Stage. If you like League of Legends content, subscribe to my channel, like the video. I do daily content. Right now, obviously, it's MSI themed. Normally, during the splits, I cover the 4 major regions. I am going to incorporate a little bit more of the minor regions into my content going forward, obviously, because a large portion of my subscriber base, at least for the moment, is from Brazil. So CBLOL is taking on a bit more of an emphasis on my channel than it was previously. I do intend on, like I said, incorporating more minor region content. Thursday, I'm going to have a power rankings out, and it's going to be, I'm going to explain it then and a little bit more tomorrow as well. It's going to be weird. The algorithm, I'm going to see what the algorithm kind of spits out, and we're going to go over it. And through the comment section, hopefully I can figure out if the algorithm is giving a good representation of who was good and who wasn't in the minor regions, because honestly, I haven't watched a single minor region game. We are covering these 5 minor region teams because I watched them play. I'm going to give kind of my opinion of what I think about these teams. So subscribe to the channel if you like daily content. So DetonatioN FocusMe, last year they moved on at Worlds, really pulled an upset and were able to move on. And this time around, they are out. Saigon Buffalo, the Vietnamese team, were able to beat them in 2 very close contested games. I think that, honestly, both teams were very evenly matched. To assume, I'm not, obviously, Saigon Buffalo fans and myself have not really gotten along all that well. But I don't think that a Saigon Buffalo fan is going to think that they smashed DetonatioN FocusMe. Very, very close 2 games. I think that when I think about DFM, it was all steal. I mean, Yaharong pulling out a Vel'Koz was really interesting, and I almost wish that he had been that creative before it. I mean, their backs were against the wall, and I'm sure it was a pocket pick to keep for that scenario. But Steel really performed throughout the whole entire tournament. I thought Jungler was a role in this tournament, especially for these smaller region teams. That was like an emphasis. Like, that was the person that you wanted to watch because they were the ones that created everything, which is mostly the case with most teams. But it's like their best player was their jungler, or their best performer was their jungler, and that's why they struggled. So, like DFM, I had their bot lane as one of the top bot lanes going into this tournament, and they were non-existent. I thought that they got really outplayed by Shogun and Taki. Even against Team ACE, I didn't feel like they did all that much, which was a matchup that they should have dominated. DFM just really disappointed me. And I'm not, when we're going to transition into Team ACE, I am going to say the final game between Team ACE and DFM, I'm not going to hold against DFM all that much, despite losing and being Team ACE's only win. I'm sure that by that point, DFM just wanted to go home. Team ACE, on the other hand, I am proud of them for, sticking it out till the end, winning a game. The Latin American squad, I felt like they may have been the worst team at the tournament. I think they really, really, really struggled in the first 5 games they played. Sure, I think again, their second to last game, they were okay through the laning phase, but even then, it was like just everybody knew it was like a powder keg about to explode. They did not have much going on. Honestly, I don't like Dimitri was solid at times, and like I said, that's the jungler thing. I think Dimitri was their best player. I thought Lonely and 5Kid would show up a bit more, being from Korea, being at this event. I thought that maybe they would want to show up for their home country. But they really just didn't do much at all. Honestly, I thought Team Ace were the most disappointing team of this tournament. They were the worst, even though they beat DFM. I think they were pretty damn awful. But you also have to keep in mind this is a young team, a young organization, the first team to get out of their region in their first year and go to MSI. You got to you have to respect that. And a lot of these teams, like DFM and I believe Team ACE as well, they were not the best team in their region going into playoffs. A lot of teams came into this tournament hot. Hot. Not like, as in like, oh, they were good the whole entire split. No, they came in hot. G2 came in hot. EG came in hot. DFM came in hot. AZE came in hot. I believe Order came in hot, and so did Red. I don't know about Istanbul Wildcats. Istanbul could have won their thing. I haven't looked at the TCL yet for my power rankings. But a lot of teams came into this tournament on a winning streak. And obviously you're like, oh, well, they won the play. No, I mean like they came in and just ran the table in the playoffs in a way that people didn't expect. And when push came to shove at this big event, they were outmatched because overall throughout their spring split, they were outmatched in their region against the top teams. Red Canids, obviously, a lot of my fan base, like I said, is from Brazil. So I've talked a lot about Red in my videos. They came close. They really did. Obviously, we all know that first game against Istanbul, they should have won. They didn't. I'm going to continue to say if they don't take that inhib, they have a better chance of winning. That was where they screwed up. That allowed Istanbul to get Holy Phoenix online and come back to win. Cheaton picked the wrong ruins in a must-win game against RNG, which was a shame. I thought Cheaton also struggled on Jin early on in the tournament. I don't know if he was, too much pressure. I mean, I don't know why he was missing his ults. Maybe it was ping. But I thought they stuck with that too long. I feel like, this was more of a coaching problem with Red. You look at top lane. I don't know why Gigo is getting Gwen all the time. I know Gwen was a hot pick, but they should have been picking Gragas, Sion. We saw other teams doing it with better top laners than Gigo. Beating Starscreen is nothing to write home about, which I'll get to. And I mean, I've really probably crapped on Starscreen too much as it is. Red looked okay at times, and other times they just looked outmatched. And I mean, I talked about them a bit yesterday when Avenger left, and I thought maybe Avenger might have been he's an interesting player. And obviously I learned more in the comment section. So comment down below if you have any opinions on these teams. I love not even bantering, just having a conversation about League, learning more. But Avenger has a champion pool that reminded me a lot of Kisei from Order, and I wonder how that would have looked. The Yone, the Yasuo, things that were buffed this patch would have allowed them to go AP junglers more, and maybe that gives Red a better opportunity to win. I thought that they were solid at times and they came close, but in the end they didn't move on. Istanbul Wildcats, Saren looked good on the Ahri in that one game, and it was like a flash that was like, this is why this guy was the top rated mid laner going into this tournament. But that was the only time that he looked like that. Other times he was non-existent, not affecting the game, and that hurt them immensely because Holy Phoenix was getting triple banned, quadra banned. He was just getting banned out and having to play random stuff that he usually doesn't play, and it really hurt Istanbul. Honestly, like Starscreen, I know he struggles, but Saren was supposed to be a bigger part of this team, and he didn't. And honestly, Ferret didn't look that good either. Outside of Holy Phoenix, Istanbul didn't show up, in my opinion. It was, it's like DFM in a way. It was kind of disappointing. You expect more out of them, like I said, especially Saren and Ferret, because, I had Red and Istanbul junglers even going into this event, and obviously, August outperformed Ferret by, 10 times. Played very, very well in the Lee Sin. Played good on the Wukong too, I believe. But Ferret didn't do much at all. So Istanbul, if it was it's probably Team ACE and Istanbul as the worst teams of this tournament, because Order, despite Order not winning a game, you can't really hold that against them. They were against G2 and EG. Like, so they're against two major region teams, game in, game out. Um, I liked at first they got really creative right away and punched G2 in the mouth. Now they lost, but they punched G2 in the mouth. And after that, I think it woke G2 up, and they're like, oh, this is a tournament where we actually have to show up and play. Um, but there's a lot of young potential there. I feel like Kevi and Kisei are a jungle mid duo that I hope to see at Worlds with a little more experience. I think BioPanther is solid in top. I mean, the Cal was a really weird pick and it didn't work, but I feel like he has the experience that maybe can help them get back to Worlds. It's the bot lane, though, that I kind of am curious about. Corporal, I feel like, really, really struggled in this tournament. He was outclassed. Um, but at the same time, it's so hard to gauge what Order is like because they weren't against a team like one of these. I mean, these teams got to play each other, but Order did not. So where does Order actually stand when it comes to these teams? We don't know. It's unfortunate. We'll see if they can return at Worlds. But I hope I see them at Worlds because I like the champion pools. I like the flexibility. I like the freakiness that they can offer. I think that freakiness is huge. I think a player that can play a lot of champions is very valuable. You become unpredictable. So, Order, I mean, the bot lane is probably where I kind of do question mark pings. But, I mean, you saw like the potential that they have in that G2 game, and I'm curious what they can do going forward. So if you have any comments on these 5 teams, comment down below. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow I'm going to do my predictions for what I believe Rumble Stage is going to turn out. So, comment down below if you have any opinion on that, how you think Rumble Stage is going to look. Thursday I'm going to do power rankings where I go over the major and minor region teams and try and figure out an algorithm that works to put them all in one power rankings. Because obviously you have to offset it. Minor region teams obviously aren't against as good a competition. Even the LCS compared to the LPL, LCK, or LEC. If my algorithm says TL is the best team, that would be wrong, right? So I have to adjust my numbers to try and get it to where it kind of makes sense at first. And if it can make sense at first, then I can hold true throughout, and we can just say, oh, well, this team's getting better, this team's getting worse, and things like that. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you come back for more content.